Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Reclaiming Your Life. I am your host, Kamara.
This podcast is designed to help women overcome their insecurities, self-doubt, and fears within themselves to pursue their dreams by telling her own life experiences. Here's your host, Kamara.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year! It is 2020, the year of miracles. I am claiming it. I'm saying it. I'm believing it because I am believing that God is going to do something amazing for me this year and amazing for each and every one of you. 2019, I know that it probably was rough for a lot of people. It was rough for myself. I know that you may have felt that you wanted to give up plenty of times in 2019. But 2020 is here. You are going to be able to see some things manifest that you didn't think was going to manifest. You are going to see things happening that you forgot about, things that you already written in your journal, things that you have dreamed about years ago that you have forgotten about, and they are coming to pass. They are coming to fruition. They are manifesting. So if you believe that with me, then let me tell you something. I want to get you ready for the miracle that is going to take place in your life this year. I am doing a 21-day challenge. It started January 6th through the 26th of this year, of course, 2020. If you are not following me on social media, follow me on Instagram at Reclaiming Your Life and Facebook Reclaiming Your Life. You will see things that I am putting up to help you to get into the spirit, help you to change your mindset so that you can start believing that these things are going to happen, because we have to shift. We have to shift our mindset in order to believe these miracles is going to take place. Okay, so start that challenge with me. If you are already not following me on social media, if you have not already started the challenge, get your notebook, get a pen, take some time out of your day, whether it's 5 minutes, to write in your journal each day what is it that you want, and take the steps that I am posting. Write your goals, say your affirmations, know who you are. These are things that I posted so far, starting January 6th of this year. So follow me and put these things into practice, because trust me, things is going to turn around. Things are going to turn around. But I want to thank each and every one of my listeners that have been listening all over the United States and all over the country. I see you guys listening. I'm excited. Thank you. But I also would like to ask my listeners if you can please leave a review to let me know how are you liking the podcast. If things that I am touching on, speaking on, is hitting home to you, let me know how Reclaiming Your Life is impacting your life. Leave a review so that not only I can know, but anybody else who was looking to know how they can reclaim their life, they can see and read your review as to what Reclaiming Your Life has done for you so far. And stay tuned, because a lot more things is happening this year. A lot more things going forward is happening with Reclaiming Your Life. I will be having a retreat in Connecticut, and coming up, I will be having my second annual Mother's Day Mommy Makeover for single moms out there. So stay tuned for that, because great things are coming down the pike for Reclaiming Your Life. Reclaiming Your Life, I restructured it a little bit, but I won't even say I restructured it a little bit, because you know how when God will give you a vision, or you get this idea in your head and you think it's a fresh idea, but in all actuality it's not a fresh idea. It's already been there, set in stone. It's been written. And that's what happened with me. But I think I just needed the time to get myself back together, to get where I was the beginning of this year. On the beginning of 2019, around the same time last year. And this is the birth of Reclaiming Your Life. The month of January is when Reclaiming Your Life was birthed. So I am celebrating an anniversary, and I am happy. I am excited, but I am here to serve and to help women all over who has suffered a trauma, whether it's depression, homelessness, rape, molested, abused physically, mentally, emotionally, a miscarriage, any trauma that you may have suffered in your life. I am here to help women to overcome that trauma. That is what God put me on this earth to do, is to help women overcome the trauma, to be able to put that confidence back into them, to build up their self-confidence within themselves, to believe in themselves, to know who they are, and to know that the dreams and the visions that they always had at one point in their life, that is still there and is still possible to happen. You don't have to be a victim of your trauma, not anymore. There's several ways that I can help you to get over that trauma so that you can be free, so that you can live the life that you always wanted. I apologize if my words are not coming out right. I don't know what's going on, but something is going on, but it's a good thing because I guess I'm just excited. But that is my mission, and it's always been my mission. And I'm going to make sure that I am more open, that I promised that I would be more open when I first started this podcast about my journey, my traumas that I experienced, and how I overcame that, and how I can help you to overcome those traumas as well. And today I am going to be talking about trusting yourself and how important it is to trust yourself, and how you can do that to start trusting yourself. Because it's so important to trust yourself and know who you are, because if you don't, then it's like you're a lost soul. And I say you're a lost soul because you have to know who you are in this world. Because if you don't, you're lost. And I say you're lost because then you're sitting here becoming what somebody else thinks of you. So, as I said, today I'm talking about trusting yourself and how important it is, because plenty of times we'll get a intuition, that gut feeling, that speaks to us, and then we don't listen. We go to the left when we should have been going to the right, but we let our own feelings get into what we really should be doing. And so we don't trust ourselves. And if we was to trust ourselves and to listen to God, to listen to that intuition, listen to your gut, we would be so much further along in life, and we wouldn't have to go through some of the things that we went through in life if we were to trust ourselves and to go off that intuition and not worry about what someone thinks of us, how it's going to impact somebody else. But if we was to trust ourselves, we would be so much further along. We would have so much more. We wouldn't have all of this stress. We wouldn't have all of this baggage if we were to trust ourselves. We let our own thoughts and feelings get in the way. When we let our own thoughts and feelings get in the way, do you know what happened? Think about it. Think about what I'm asking you. Do you know what happens when we let our own thoughts and feelings get in the way? Those thoughts and feelings now, right, become things. Just like how you can think your way out of a situation, or what you think about the most is what you are most of the time of yourself, right? And those becomes belief. So what you're thinking about yourself is who you are most of the time. So if you're thinking less than, then you're going to be less than. But if you're thinking of yourself as this courageous person, as this person who has wealth, this person who is smart, then that's who you're going to become. It's the same saying when a person lies so much they start to believe their lies. It's the same thing. In life, as women, we do it often, especially when it comes to relationships, intimate relationships, friendships, business relationships. We make excuses for the next person when we shouldn't. We should not be making excuses for the next person. I apologize. But These are things that we do. And sometimes when we make these excuses, it's probably on fear that we don't want to end that relationship or to lose that relationship, because we don't want to believe the reality of that person. We try to paint an image about that person in our heads of a person they're really not. Because what they're giving us, we don't want to believe that's who they really are. But you have to. When a person show you their true colors, you got to believe it. I'm sure you heard of that. We can't be living in this dream when it comes to people. And when we don't want to end a relationship, when we know we should have left that relationship or ended that relationship a long time ago. The first thing you would need to do in order to trust yourself, you need to first identify and know who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you would never trust yourself. How can you trust someone you don't know? It's the same thing as if you're meeting a stranger. You're not going to believe everything that stranger tells you because you don't know them. So you're not going to trust them. So you need to know who you are. How do you identify who you are? You need to ask yourself, what are your beliefs? You need to know your beliefs. It's very important. Not just spiritual beliefs. That's also important. But what do you stand for? Your lifestyle, your values. What are you going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with? What do you believe is true about your standards and so on? So these are things that you have to know. When it comes to identifying yourself and knowing who you are, you have to know your beliefs. Because if you don't know your beliefs, then you're just walking around and anybody can do anything to you. Not just an intimate relationship, but friendships. People can take advantage of you. So I asked you the question, do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself when you make decisions? Or do you ask someone else's opinions for validation? And I'm not going to act like I'm all perfect and things like that because, sometimes I ask people for validation to get their opinion when I know I don't need their opinion because my mind is already made up on what I'm going to do. But some of us, we do that a lot of time and we shouldn't. Because we should be able to trust ourselves to know that we're going to make the right decision. Whether or not that decision or the outcome is not how we want it to be, but at least you know that you trusted yourself and you didn't go based off of someone else's opinion. Because that's the worst thing that you can do is go off of somebody else's opinion and then get an outcome where you're like, you know what, this was that person's fault because I listened to them. But you have to listen to yourself. Do you second guess yourself when you're making decisions? Believe it or not, these are signs or indications that you don't trust yourself. You have to trust yourself and know whatever decision that you're making, that's what you're making. You're making that decision and you're being confident in a decision that you are making. Trusting ourselves also means being okay with letting go. As I said before, stop staying in relationships because someone else's feelings or because you don't want to go through the heartache or the guilt. And when you get your intuitions, you need to go with it and don't second guess. Be sure of your decision. Be sure of your next move. Not sure if and many of you have watched the movie Harriet, but in the movie Harriet, whenever she would pass out or she would get her visions, she never questioned what God told her. Harriet just did it. She moved. She acted on it. If she would have second guessed herself, she wouldn't have freed so many slaves. That lady, that woman, never second guessed. Although God had spoke to her and told her what she needed to do, she probably thinking, oh, it's some other intentions. Just like when God told her to go back. And she was thinking like, yes, I'm going back for my husband. And when she went back for her husband, he remarried and was having a baby. And when she went back 5 or 6 more slaves came with her. Her brothers and some other people came back with her. And then she realized that she wasn't going back for her husband. She was going back to free slaves. So although when you are acting on your intuition or you're listening to God, you may have other intentions behind that, which is okay, but it still will work out for your good. It will still work out for your good. So my advice to you today is that don't second guess yourself and follow your heart, follow your intuition, follow your gut. Listen to what God is telling you, because he's not going to leave you astray. He's not. So you have to trust yourself. Know who you are. Take the time to know who you are. Journal and write down what it is that you're going to put up with, what you're not going to put up with, what you're allowing and not going to allow. These are things that's important to you. What are your values? What are your beliefs? What do you stand for? And don't go back on your word and your beliefs just to justify or to satisfy somebody else's beliefs. If quick example, I can't think of nothing else, but if you want children and you meet someone and they say they don't want children, but yet you going to sacrifice and stay with them, but you still know deep down inside you want to have children, why would you sacrifice? What is it that you want? You want children. So why are you trying to be someone else that you're not for someone else? So know who you are, trust yourself, and don't settle. Do not settle and lower your standards for somebody else's. Don't do that. Know your standards, know your level, know your value. So when the next person comes into your life, whether it's an intimate relationship, a spouse, a friendship, a business relationship, whoever comes into your life, they will be able to respect your values and your beliefs and who you are as a person, because they can see who you are and you're not going to just take any and anything. So this is how I wanted to start the new year off for 2020, is to know yourself, know who you are, and trust yourself. Trust the decisions that you are making are right and is a good one. And listen to what God is telling you. So for anyone who is out there who is struggling with this, take the time, get a journal, write everything out. Write it all out. And you stick by what you wrote. And don't let anyone come into your life and try to change you to be somebody else than you're not. Thank you all for listening today. Happy New Year. Follow me on social media, on Instagram, Reclaiming Your Life, and Facebook, Reclaiming Your Life. If you have any questions, topics that you want to discuss, topics that you want to hear me discuss, please email me at reclaimingyourlife01@gmail.com. Again, that's reclaimingyourlife01@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing you guys. And again, please don't forget to leave a review. Bye. Until next time.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.